The council chamber smelled like ozone and something sweet that David Cole couldn't identify. Around him, creatures from 60 different worlds filled the curved seats that rose toward the domed ceiling. Some breathed methane through masks. Others floated in gravity bubbles. A few looked almost human, while others defied easy description. David adjusted his collar and wished he felt more confident. 6 months ago, humanity didn't even know aliens existed. Now he stood as Earth's ambassador in front of the entire Galactic Council, about to present his world's wildlife. It seemed like such a small thing compared to trade agreements and territorial rights. But the Council took these cultural exchanges seriously. Dr. Rachel Foster stood beside him, tablet in hand. She was young for a xenobiologist, barely 30, but she knew Earth's animals better than anyone. Her fingers moved across the screen, pulling up the first hologram. A lion materialized above the center platform, 15 feet tall, mane flowing as it roared silently in the projection. The chamber erupted in chittering sounds, high-pitched whistles, deep rumbling that vibrated through the floor. David realized with growing horror that the aliens were laughing. Commander Drell rose from his seat. The Krathan warrior stood 9 feet tall, his body covered in thick gray plates that looked like natural armor. His forearms crossed over his chest as he spoke in perfect English, translated by the neural implant all council members received. "This is your apex predator." Drell's voice boomed across the chamber. "It looks soft, weak. Where is its armor? Its venom glands? Its plasma sacs?" Rachel stepped forward. "The lion hunts through cooperation and strategy. A pride can take down prey 3 times their size." More laughter rippled through the chamber. A floating creature that resembled a jellyfish with too many eyes spoke in a bubbling voice. "Our world's pack hunters use telepathic coordination. They can strike from 6 directions simultaneously with perfect timing. Does your lion have telepathy?" "No," Rachel admitted. "Can it survive in methane atmospheres? Volcanic regions? Deep ocean trenches?" This question came from a crystalline being whose body reflected light in rainbow patterns. "No, but then it is specialized, limited, fragile." The crystalline alien waved a geometric appendage dismissively. David felt heat rising in his face. Rachel cycled through more holograms. A polar bear, massive and white. A great white shark cutting through blue water. A grizzly bear standing on hind legs. Each image brought fresh waves of mockery. "Your predators hunt prey that cannot fight back," Drell said. He gestured and his own hologram appeared. A creature that looked like a wolf crossed with a tank, its hide covered in overlapping bone plates, jaws lined with teeth like daggers. "This is a Krathan battlehound, bred for war over 10,000 generations. Its bite can crush steel. Its armor can withstand small arms fire. And it hunts in packs of 50. The chamber filled with approving sounds. Other aliens began displaying their own predators. A 6-legged thing with a stinger the size of a spear. A massive herbivore that had been combat trained to charge and kill. Flying creatures with acid sacs. Ambush hunters with optical camouflage. Each presentation made Earth's animals look more pathetic by comparison. Rachel's jaw tightened. David saw her fingers moving rapidly across her tablet, pulling up files, searching for something that might save this disaster. But what could she show? Humanity knew their world was relatively small, the gravity lighter than most council worlds, the competition less extreme. Earth was a garden planet by galactic standards. Nice, comfortable, safe. Perhaps, Drell continued, his tone almost gentle now, like an adult explaining something to a child. Earth is simply a nursery world, a place where life can grow without pressure, without real danger. There is no shame in this. Not every world must be a crucible. David opened his mouth to respond, but Rachel grabbed his arm. She leaned close and whispered, "Don't. We can't just trust me." "Let it go, for now," David wanted to argue. Every instinct screamed at him to defend his homeworld. But Rachel's eyes held something calculating. She had a plan. The High Arbiter Len spoke for the first time. The ancient being looked vaguely reptilian but moved with fluid grace that suggested something else entirely. Its eyes were deep gold and seemed to see through everything. The fauna exhibition concludes. Each species has demonstrated their world's evolutionary achievements. Len's voice carried no mockery, just statement of fact. Earth's delegation may return to their quarters. As the chamber began to empty, Drell approached them. Up close, he was even more intimidating. Each of his 4 hands could probably crush David's skull. Ambassador Cole, Dr. Foster. I mean no insult to your species. Drell gestured with one hand, a Krathan sign of respect David had learned. But facts are facts. Your world produced you, and humans are formidable in your own ways. Diplomatic, creative. But your animals? They are suited only for agricultural worlds. For children's zoos, perhaps. Rachel smiled. It wasn't a friendly expression. Commander Drell, I have a question. Have you ever heard of an arena trial? Drell's eyes narrowed. The old custom? Where worlds prove their claims through demonstration? I'm formally requesting one. Earth will provide a predator. You and any other species may provide yours. Controlled environment. Fair conditions. And we'll see who laughs then. The corridor had gone quiet. Other aliens stopped to listen. David felt his stomach drop. Arena trials were legendary and almost never invoked anymore. They were considered barbaric by modern council standards. Drell studied Rachel for a long moment. Then he smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. You understand what you're asking? Our battlehounds have never lost an arena trial. Never. In 300 years of council membership. I understand perfectly. Then I accept, as will others, I suspect. Drell looked around at the gathering crowd. Who else wishes to demonstrate the superiority of their world's predators against Earth's? Offerings? 5 more aliens stepped forward, each representing different species, different worlds, different evolutionary paths, all confident. All amused, Drell turned back to Rachel. Choose your champion carefully, Doctor. The arena shows no mercy to the weak, and when your creature falls, perhaps Earth will accept its place in the council with appropriate humility. He walked away, followed by the other aliens. Their chittering laughter echoed down the corridor. David waited until they were alone. Rachel, what the hell did you just do? We can't win this. You saw their predators. They're monsters. Rachel was already typing on her tablet, pulling up files, running calculations. David, every single one of those aliens made the same mistake. They looked at our animals and saw weakness. Soft hide, no armor, no venom, no plasma or acid or telepathy. Because we don't have those things. Exactly. Rachel looked up and her eyes blazed with fierce pride. They evolved on stable worlds, comfortable worlds, worlds where predators reached a peak and stopped, where evolution slowed down because nothing pushed it further. And Earth? Earth never stopped pushing. Ice ages, volcanic periods, mass extinctions, climate chaos. Earth doesn't let anything get comfortable. Our predators evolved in a pressure cooker that never turned off. She pulled up a file and showed him. I know exactly what we're bringing to that arena. And when we do, the entire galaxy is going to stop laughing. David looked at the image on her screen. He felt his blood run cold. Rachel, are you sure about this? She smiled. Completely. Get me authorization to return to Earth. We need to pick up our champion. And David? Tell the transport crew to prepare a reinforced containment unit. A very reinforced one. Why? Because we're bringing a tiger. And once the galaxy sees what a real apex predator looks like, everything changes. The transport shuttle broke through Earth's atmosphere over the Indian subcontinent. Rachel pressed her face against the window, watching clouds part to reveal green jungle below. Somewhere down there in those dense forests lived the predator that would represent humanity to the entire galaxy. You really think this will work? David asked from the seat beside her. It has to. Rachel pulled her gaze from the window. The council is already writing us off. They think we're soft, weak. If we bring something that loses quickly, we'll never recover that respect. And if we win, then we prove Earth isn't a nursery. We prove our world has teeth. The shuttle landed at a military base in northeastern India. General Williams waited on the tarmac, flanked by 2 people Rachel recognized from video calls. Peter Walsh, one of Earth's best big cat handlers, and Dr. Anita Sharma, a wildlife veterinarian who'd spent 20 years working with tigers. Williams saluted as they approached. Dr. Foster, Ambassador Cole, welcome back to Earth. I have to say, when you requested a Bengal tiger for diplomatic purposes, I thought someone was playing a prank. No prank, General. Rachel shook his hand. How's our candidate? Peter Walsh stepped forward. He was in his 50s, weathered and lean, with scars on his forearms that spoke of decades working with dangerous animals. Khan is perfect. Male, 8 years old, 520 pounds. Healthy, strong, and he's got a temperament that's ideal for this situation. Temperament. David looked confused. What kind of temperament does a tiger need for fighting alien monsters? Confident but not reckless, Dr. Sharma explained. Khan has lived in a large preserve where he hunts natural prey. He knows how to kill, but he's also been around humans enough that he won't panic in a strange environment. Some tigers are too aggressive, attack everything. Others are too cautious. Khan is balanced. They walked toward a series of buildings at the edge of the base. Through reinforced glass, Rachel saw the tiger for the first time in person. He was magnificent. Orange and black stripes rippled over thick muscle. Massive paws padded silently across the enclosure floor. Yellow eyes tracked their movement with absolute focus. He's smaller than I expected, David said quietly. Compared to what? Peter raised an eyebrow. Khan weighs over 500 pounds. His canine teeth are 3 inches long. His bite force is over 1,000 pounds per square inch. He can leap 20 feet horizontally and 16 feet vertically. And when he attacks, he moves faster than your eye can track. What exactly were you expecting? David gestured helplessly. Something bigger. Drell's battle hound weighs 800 pounds. The other creatures are even larger. Size isn't everything. Rachel moved closer to the glass. Khan turned his head, meeting her eyes. She felt a primal chill run down her spine. That gaze held intelligence, calculation, the absolute certainty of a creature that had never met anything it couldn't kill. Peter explained it to him. Peter joined her at the glass. Most of those alien predators evolved on high-gravity worlds or in extreme environments. They needed size and armor to survive. But Earth? Earth is different. Our gravity is lighter. Our oxygen levels are higher. That combination created something unique. Which is? Speed and efficiency. Peter pointed at Khan. Tigers evolved to hunt in dense jungle and tall grass. They can't rely on size or long chases. They developed something better. Perfect ambush tactics. Silent movement. Explosive power. A tiger can kill prey 3 times its size with a single attack. Crushing bite to the spine or throat. Claws that can shred through hide and reflexes so fast that prey often dies before they know they're under attack. Dr. Sharma pulled up a tablet and showed them footage. A tiger hunting wild boar in tall grass. One moment, nothing. The next, an explosion of movement. The boar was dead in under 3 seconds, neck broken by the tiger's jaws. That's the highest success rate of any large predator on Earth, Dr. Sharma said. 70 to 80% of tiger hunts end in a kill. Lions 20 to 30%. Wolves 20%. Tigers are efficient killers because they have to be. Earth made them that way. David watched the footage again, but in an open arena against armored creatures designed for combat. What chance does ambush tactics have? More than you think. Rachel pulled up her own files. I've been studying the alien predators that accepted the challenge. Every single one of them evolved on worlds that are relatively stable. Their prey evolved defenses, their predators evolved countermeasures, and then evolution slowed down. They reached a balance. And Earth? Earth never balanced. Our climate swings wildly. Ice ages every 100,000 years. Volcanic events. Meteor impacts. Mass extinctions that wiped out 90% of species. Earth's evolution is constant warfare. Our predators have to adapt or die. The ones that survived did so by becoming the most efficient killers possible. General Williams cleared his throat. That's all very interesting, Doctor. But I need to know we're not sending this animal to its death. The military brass is unhappy about using wildlife for political demonstrations. If Khan dies in that arena, there will be hell to pay. Khan won't die. Peter's voice was flat with certainty. I've seen what he can do. I've watched him hunt. That tiger is everything millions of years of evolution could create in a perfect killing machine. The aliens are going to learn a hard lesson about underestimating Earth. Rachel turned to the general. Sir, I need your authorization to transport Khan to Council Station. Reinforced containment. Medical support. Everything he needs. And I need it done quietly. No press, no publicity. When Khan steps into that arena, I want it to be a complete surprise. William studied her face, then nodded slowly. You really believe in this? I believe in Earth, General. I believe our world created something special. Something the galaxy has never seen before. And I believe Khan is going to prove it. They spent the next 3 days preparing. Khan was given full medical examinations, confirming he was in perfect health. His diet was optimized for peak performance. Peter worked with him daily, maintaining the bond they'd built over years, ensuring Khan remained calm and focused. Dr. Sharma ran simulations, calculating how Khan would respond to different stimuli. Tigers are intelligent, she explained during one briefing. They learn. They adapt. If his first attack doesn't work, he'll try something different. That's what makes them so dangerous. On the fourth day, Khan was loaded into a specially designed transport container, reinforced steel walls, climate control, everything monitored. Peter insisted on traveling with him. He knows me, trusts me. If he's going to be in a strange environment surrounded by alien smells and sounds, he needs familiar presence. Peter stood beside the container, hand pressed against the small viewing window. Khan's eye appeared calm and golden. Besides, I'm the only one who can handle him safely. The shuttle lifted off at dawn. Rachel watched Earth shrink below them, then disappear as they jumped to faster-than-light travel. The journey to Council Station would take 2 weeks. 2 weeks to prepare. 2 weeks before the entire galaxy saw what Earth had brought. David found her in the observation deck on the 5th day, staring at distant stars. Having doubts? No. Rachel shook her head. I'm thinking about how we've always seen ourselves. Humans, I mean. We know we're apex predators. We dominated Earth through intelligence and tools. But we forget what it took to get there. We forget that we evolved alongside creatures like Khan. We learned from them, competed with them, and eventually surpassed them. And now we're using one to prove a point to aliens. No. Rachel turned to face him. We're using Khan to remind the galaxy that Earth isn't weak, that our world produced predators so efficient, so deadly, that even humans with all our intelligence had to develop weapons and fire and cooperation just to survive alongside them. What does that say about Earth? David smiled. That it's a crucible. Exactly. And crucibles don't produce soft things. They produce steel. When they arrived at Council Station, a crowd had gathered at the docking bay. Word had spread that Earth was bringing its champion. Aliens of every description waited to see what humanity had chosen. The transport container was offloaded by remote drones. Through the narrow viewing window, Khan's striped face was barely visible. Rachel heard the whispers start immediately. That's it? It looks like an oversized house pet. The humans brought a cat? Commander Drell pushed through the crowd. His forearms crossed over his chest as he studied the container. Dr. Foster, you've returned, and this is your arena champion? This is Khan. Rachel met his gaze without flinching. A Bengal tiger, Earth's most efficient predator. Efficient. Drell's laugh boomed across the docking bay. My battlehounds will show you what true efficiency looks like. They will tear your pet apart in seconds. Peter Walsh stepped forward from where he'd been supervising the container. You're welcome to try, Commander. Khan has killed water buffalo that weigh over 1,500 pounds. What's the biggest thing your battlehound has killed? The laughter died. Drell's eyes narrowed. We will see, human. We will see. As the crowd dispersed, still chuckling and chattering in their various languages, Rachel allowed herself a small smile. Let them laugh. Let them underestimate. Soon enough, they'd see what Earth could produce when evolution never stopped grinding. Soon enough, the galaxy would stop mocking humanity's world. Khan shifted in his container, a low growl rumbling through the metal. Peter pressed his hand against the viewing window. Soon, boy. Soon you show them what you are, what we all are. And in the darkness of the container, golden eyes gleamed with the patience of a predator that knew its time was coming. The bio-arena sprawled across an entire section of Council Station, a massive dome that could simulate any environment the galaxy had to offer. Rachel stood in the control room overlooking the main floor, watching as technicians calibrated the terrain for neutral conditions. Grassland with scattered rocks and small clusters of vegetation. No advantage for any particular species. Fair ground. Beside her, High Arbiter Len observed in silence. The ancient being had appeared without announcement, as was their way. Their golden eyes reflected the lights from the control panels. You understand what you've initiated? Len said softly. Arena trials are not games. Animals will die today. I understand. Rachel kept her gaze on the arena floor below. But respect isn't given freely in the council. It's earned. Earth needs this, perhaps Earth needs it. But does the tiger? Rachel had no answer for that. The question had haunted her since they'd departed Earth. Was she using Khan? Exploiting him for political gain? Or was she simply showing the galaxy what he already was? A perfect product of Earth's relentless evolutionary pressure. The waiting area beneath the arena held 6 containment units. Rachel walked down the metal stairs, Peter Walsh following close behind. Each unit held a different creature, brought by different species to prove their world's superiority. The first unit contained Drell's battlehound. Rachel could see it through the reinforced glass, pacing with restless aggression. 800 pounds of muscle and armor plate, bred over thousands of generations for one purpose: combat. Its jaws snapped at nothing, showing teeth like daggers. Next came the Vreen Spinestalker, a six-legged creature that resembled a massive spider crossed with a scorpion. Paralytic venom dripped from its stinger, pooling on the floor of its unit. Its 6 eyes tracked movement with cold precision. The other creatures were equally impressive. A Moric Crusher, 3 tons of battering ram covered in thick hide, a flying predator with acid sacs, an aquatic hunter with electrical organs, each one a product of millions of years of evolution, each one designed to kill. And at the end of the row, in a unit half the size of the others, Khan waited. The tiger sat perfectly still, only his eyes moving as he observed his surroundings. No pacing, no aggression, just calm, patient awareness. Peter knelt beside the viewing window. "How's he doing?" Rachel asked. "He knows something's different. New smells, new sounds, but he's not panicked." Peter smiled slightly. Khan has always been confident. He's never met anything that scared him. Why should today be different? A technician approached, nervous. "Dr. Foster? They're ready to begin. The first match will be in 10 minutes. The Vreen delegation wants their Spinestalker to face the Earth creature first." Rachel felt her stomach tighten. "Why the Spinestalker?" "They say it's a fair match. Similar size categories. The Spinestalker weighs 600 pounds. Your tiger, 520. Close enough for a balanced fight." Peter stood, his face hardening. There's nothing balanced about venom that can paralyze an elephant. The venom is natural. The rules allow natural weapons. The technician looked apologetic. "I'm sorry, but those are the terms." Rachel exchanged glances with Peter. They both knew the Vreen Spinestalker was designed to fight larger prey. Its venom worked fast. Its stinger could strike from 8 feet away, and its 6 legs gave it stability that 4-legged creatures couldn't match. "Fine." Rachel squared her shoulders. "Release Khan first. Let him acclimate to the environment." In the viewing galleries high above the arena, thousands of aliens gathered. Screens throughout Council Station broadcast the event. This was more than just Earth's trial. It had become entertainment for the entire galaxy, proof that the newcomer species needed to learn their place. The arena floor shimmered as holographic cameras activated, capturing every angle. Commentators from different species began their analysis, most dismissing Earth's chances entirely. "The tiger appears well-muscled but lacks any significant defensive capabilities," one commentator chirped. "Soft hide, no armor plating, no visible venom delivery systems. Against the Spinestalker's paralytic toxin, this match will be over quickly." Peter guided Khan's container onto the arena floor using remote controls. The metal door slid open. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Khan stepped out. The tiger moved with fluid grace, each paw placed with absolute silence despite his size. His head swung slowly, taking in the arena, the walls, the distant viewing galleries. His ears swiveled, catching sounds. His nose twitched, processing scents. The viewing galleries quieted slightly. Even through the screens, Khan's presence was undeniable. This was not a creature that looked afraid. This was a creature surveying new territory with the confidence of a king. Rachel watched from the control room, her heart pounding. "Peter, can he hear us?" "Through the comm system, yes. Talk to him. Keep him calm." Peter activated his microphone. His voice, low and steady, echoed across the arena floor. "Khan, good boy. You're okay. I'm right here. Listen to my voice." The tiger's ears flicked toward the sound. He didn't look up at the control room, but his body language shifted slightly. Recognition, trust. On the opposite side of the arena, the Spinestalker's containment unit opened. The creature scuttled out, its 6 legs moving with mechanical precision. The stinger curved over its back, venom glistening at the tip. Its 6 eyes locked onto Khan immediately. The viewing galleries erupted with chittering excitement. Bets were being placed, analysis streaming across screens. Everyone expected the same outcome. The Spinestalker would strike, the venom would work within seconds, and Earth's champion would fall. Khan noticed the Spinestalker immediately. His body lowered slightly, muscles coiling. But he didn't charge. Didn't roar. Didn't display aggression. He simply watched. The Spinestalker began to circle, legs clicking against the arena floor. It moved sideways like a crab, keeping its stinger oriented toward Khan. Testing, probing for weakness. Khan turned as the creature circled, keeping it in front of him. His movements were minimal, efficient. No wasted energy, no panic. "What's he doing?" David's voice crackled over the comm. He was in the viewing gallery with the human delegation. "Hunting." Rachel leaned forward, hands pressed against the control room window. "He's not fighting yet. He's learning." Minutes passed. The spine stalker feinted forward twice, testing Khan's reaction time. The tiger sidestepped both times, never taking his eyes off his opponent. The galleries began to murmur with confusion. Why wasn't the tiger attacking? Was it afraid? Then the spine stalker committed. It lunged forward, stinger whipping toward Khan's shoulder with blinding speed, fast enough to catch most prey before they could react. Khan wasn't there. The tiger moved like liquid, muscles unwinding with explosive force. He didn't just dodge, he repositioned. The spine stalker's stinger stabbed empty air where Khan had been a fraction of a second earlier. And Khan was already moving. He hit the spine stalker from the side, 500 pounds of muscle and momentum. His claws extended, raking across the creature's segmented body. The spine stalker shrieked, a sound like metal scraping metal, and tried to spin. But Khan was faster. The tiger's jaws clamped down on the base of the spine stalker's stinger, right where it connected to the body. Bone crunched. The stinger jerked once, then went limp, severed from its controlling muscles. The spine stalker thrashed wildly, legs scrambling for purchase. But Khan had already shifted his grip. His jaws found the creature's head right between two of its eyes. The bite force, over 1,000 pounds per square inch, crushed through chitin like it was paper. The spine stalker went still. Total time from first contact to kill, 4 seconds. The viewing galleries went silent. Absolutely silent. Thousands of aliens staring at screens, at the arena floor trying to process what they'd just witnessed. Khan released the spine stalker's body and backed away. He didn't celebrate, didn't roar in triumph. He simply moved to the edge of the arena, settling into a crouch beside a cluster of rocks, and began to clean his paws. Casual, like this was just another day. Rachel realized she'd been holding her breath. She let it out slowly, her hands shaking. "Peter?" "I saw." Peter's voice was thick with emotion. "That's my boy. That's my Khan." In the viewing gallery, David sat frozen. Around him, the human delegation erupted in restrained celebration. But the aliens remained silent, shock written across every strange face. Commander Drell stood, his forearms rigid at his sides. He stared at the arena floor where the spine stalker lay dead, then at Khan, who was now grooming himself as if nothing had happened. High Arbiter Len's voice came over the arena's main speakers. "The first trial is complete. Earth's champion is victorious. There will be a 30-minute interval before the next match." As technicians rushed to remove the spine stalker's body, the viewing gallery slowly came back to life. But the tone had changed. The mockery was gone. In its place was something else: uncertainty, concern, and for the first time since humanity joined the council, something that looked very much like respect. Rachel watched Khan on the monitors. The tiger had found a patch of sunlight streaming through the dome's transparent sections and was basking in it, eyes half closed, content, utterly unbothered by the fact that he'd just killed a creature from another world in front of thousands of witnesses. "They're not laughing anymore," Peter said quietly. "No," Rachel smiled. "No, they're not. But this is just the beginning. Drell's battlehound is next. That's when we'll really see what Earth can do." In his luxury viewing box, Commander Drell watched Khan with new eyes. The confidence he'd felt earlier was gone, replaced by cold calculation. His battlehound was bred for war, engineered over thousands of generations. It had never lost. But neither, Drell realized, had Earth's evolution ever stopped trying to create better killers. He activated his communicator. "Prepare the battlehound, and tell the handlers to be ready for anything. This creature from Earth is not what we expected." Khan dozed in the sunlight, his striped flanks rising and falling with steady breaths. To anyone watching, he looked completely relaxed. But Rachel knew better. She'd studied enough tiger behavior to recognize the subtle signs. His ears still swiveled toward every sound. His whiskers twitched, sampling air currents. Even at rest, Khan remained aware of his surroundings. Always hunting. Always ready. The 30-minute interval passed too quickly. Technicians cleared the arena floor, removing any trace of the Spinestalker's remains. Fresh grass was seeded in the disturbed areas. The arena had to be neutral again. Fair Commander Drell descended from his viewing box to the preparation area below. Rachel watched through the security monitors as he approached the Battlehound's containment unit. The creature inside sensed his presence and began to pace faster, its armored bulk scraping against the reinforced walls. Peter joined Rachel at the monitors. That thing is a monster. He wasn't wrong. The Battlehound stood 4 feet at the shoulder and stretched nearly 8 feet from nose to tail. Its body was covered in overlapping bone plates that had been selectively bred over thousands of generations. Muscle rippled beneath the armor. Its jaws, when it opened them to snarl, revealed rows of serrated teeth designed to crush and tear. 800 pounds, Rachel murmured, reading the displayed stats. Bite force estimated at 1,500 psi. Pack coordination instincts bred out to enhance individual aggression. No fear response. No pain sensitivity reduction. They made it into a living weapon. Peter's voice was tight. Khan is a natural predator. That thing? That's engineered hate. Rachel turned away from the monitor. Khan can win. He's faster, more agile. But if the Battlehound gets hold of him, then we trust that 4 million years of evolution gave Khan the tools he needs. Rachel met Peter's eyes. Because we can't stop this now. And I don't think we'd want to. Khan deserves to show them what Earth can do. The arena speakers crackled to life. High Arbiter Len's voice echoed across the space. The second trial will now begin. Earth's champion versus the Krathan Battlehound. May both creatures fight with honor. The viewing galleries had filled beyond capacity. Aliens crowded into every available space, many watching from multiple screens simultaneously. The first match had shocked them. This match would answer the real question. Was Earth's victory a fluke or something more? Peter activated the comm system. Time to wake up, boy. You've got work to do. The tiger's eyes opened immediately. No grogginess. No hesitation. He rose to his feet in one fluid motion, shaking himself once. His gaze swept the arena, and Rachel saw his body language change. Ears forward, muscles coiling. He'd caught the scent of something new, something dangerous. On the opposite side of the arena, the Battlehound's containment door opened. The creature exploded out like a missile. No cautious survey of terrain. No patient stalking. It charged directly toward Khan with single-minded aggression, its roar shaking the arena floor. This was what it had been bred for. Direct confrontation. Overwhelming force. Victory through sheer ferocity. Khan didn't run. The tiger shifted his stance slightly, lowering his center of gravity. His tail went rigid, a sign Rachel recognized from her research. He was calculating, measuring distance, speed, trajectory. The Battlehound covered 50 feet in seconds, closing the gap with terrifying speed. And at the last possible moment, Khan moved. He didn't dodge to the side. Instead, he rolled forward and under the Battlehound's charge, using the creature's own momentum against it. The Battlehound's jaws snapped on empty air where Khan's neck had been. Its claws scraped the arena floor, leaving gouges in the packed earth. Khan came out of the roll behind the Battlehound and immediately struck. His claws raked across the Battlehound's hindquarters, finding the gaps between armor plates. Blood welled up, black and thick. The Battlehound spun with surprising speed for its size. It lunged again, and this time its teeth caught Khan's shoulder. The viewing galleries erupted in sound, anticipating the kill. But Khan twisted, his flexible spine allowing him to contort in ways the Battlehound couldn't match. The teeth scraped along his shoulder blade but failed to find a killing grip. Khan's back claws came up, raking at the Battlehound's face, aiming for eyes. The Battlehound released him and backed up, shaking its head. Fury radiated from every line of its body. This wasn't how fights were supposed to go. Prey was supposed to freeze, to panic, to die quickly. Khan landed on all 4 paws, blood streaming from the wound on his shoulder. But his eyes never left the Battlehound. No fear, no pain response visible. Just cold calculation. They circled each other, both creatures reassessing. The Battlehound was learning that size and armor weren't enough. Khan was learning that direct confrontation wouldn't work against armored hide. Rachel's hands gripped the edge of the control panel. Come on, Khan, think, adapt. The Battlehound charged again. But this time Khan didn't dodge away. He moved toward the scattered rocks at the arena's edge, leading the Battlehound into broken terrain. Peter saw it immediately. He's using the ground. The battlehound followed, its 800 pounds making it less agile on uneven surfaces. It stumbled slightly on a loose rock. Just for a fraction of a second, its balance shifted. Khan struck like lightning. He leaped onto the battlehound's back, claws digging through armor gaps, anchoring himself. The battlehound roared and bucked, trying to throw him off. But Khan held on, back claws raking, front claws gripping, and his jaws found the battlehound's neck, right where the armor plates met at the joint. The bite didn't penetrate completely. The armor was too thick, but Khan didn't need to pierce it. He just needed to hold on while his back claws did their work, systematically shredding the softer tissue around the battlehound's hindquarters and sides. The battlehound thrashed wildly, smashing against rocks, trying to crush Khan against the ground. The tiger held on with desperate strength. Jaws locked, claws dug in. Blood began to pour from a dozen wounds. The battlehound's movements became more frantic, less coordinated. It was dying, but its engineered aggression wouldn't let it stop. It kept fighting, kept trying to kill, even as its strength faded. Rachel watched in horror and awe as the battlehound's legs finally buckled. It crashed to the ground and Khan released his grip, jumping clear. The battlehound tried to rise, failed, tried again. Its jaws still snapped, trying to find Khan even as its body shut down from blood loss. Khan circled once, making sure the threat was neutralized. Then he moved in for the killing bite, jaws closing on the battlehound's throat, crushing the windpipe. The battlehound went still. The viewing gallery sat in absolute silence. 300 years. 300 years of Krathen battlehounds winning every arena trial, never defeated, never beaten until today. Khan released the battlehound's body and limped away. His shoulder wound bled freely and Rachel could see him favoring his left front leg. But he was alive, victorious. Peter was already moving toward the arena floor. I need to get to him. That shoulder needs treatment. Wait. Rachel grabbed his arm. Look, in his viewing box, Commander Drell stood motionless. His forearms hung at his sides. His expression was unreadable, but Rachel saw something in his posture that looked like shock. Or perhaps respect. High Arbiter Len's voice came over the speakers. The second trial is complete. Earth's champion is victorious. Medical teams may enter to treat both creatures. Peter rushed into the arena with a medical kit. Khan saw him coming and actually relaxed slightly, recognizing his handler. Peter knelt beside him, examining the shoulder wound. Not too deep, Peter murmured, loud enough for the microphones to catch. You're going to be fine, boy. You did good. So good. Above them, the galleries began to buzz with conversation. Aliens turning to each other, reassessing everything they thought they knew about Earth. The commentators who had mocked Khan before now spoke in hushed, analytical tones. The creature's tactics are remarkable. It identified weaknesses in the battlehound's armor and exploited them with precision. Notice how it used terrain to its advantage. This suggests higher cognitive function than initially assessed. The flexibility of its spine allowed maneuvers that armored creatures cannot perform. Evolution has prioritized agility over defense. David found his way to the control room, his face flushed with excitement. Rachel, do you see what's happening out there? They're actually scared. The council members are scared of a tiger, not scared of Khan. Rachel watched the arena floor where Peter was bandaging Khan's shoulder. Scared of what Khan represents? They're realizing that Earth's evolution didn't stop, didn't plateau. We kept grinding out better and better predators because our world never let anything get comfortable. Commander Drell appeared at the control room door. Rachel tensed, expecting anger. Instead, the Krathen warrior looked thoughtful. Dr. Foster, Ambassador Cole. Drell's voice was quiet. I owe you an apology. I underestimated your world. I believed our battlehounds were the ultimate predators because we spent thousands of generations perfecting them. But your tiger? Your tiger was perfected by millions of years of constant warfare against an environment that gave no mercy. Commander, Rachel started. Drell held up one hand. I am not finished. There are still other challengers. The Moric Crusher weighs 3 tons. Its hide has evolved to withstand plasma weapons. Your tiger is injured. This next fight will be different. Rachel looked down at Khan, who was now resting while Peter worked on his wounds. The tiger looked tired, hurt, but his eyes were still alert. Still aware? Khan can win, she said softly. Perhaps. Drell studied the tiger for a long moment. Or perhaps your tiger has already proven his point. Proven Earth's worth. You could withdraw now with honor. Rachel felt Peter's voice in her earpiece. Rachel, Khan's shoulder is stable, but he's hurt. The Crusher is 4 times his size. I don't know if he can do this. She looked at David, who said nothing, leaving the choice to her. She looked at Khan, who had closed his eyes, resting but ready. And Rachel made her decision. No withdrawal. If Khan can fight, we continue. Earth doesn't back down from challenges. That's not who we are. That's not what our world made us. Drell nodded slowly. Then prepare your champion. The final trial begins in 1 hour. And Dr. Foster? For what it is worth, I hope your tiger survives. The galaxy needs to see what he represents, what Earth represents. As Drell left, Rachel pulled up the files on the Moric Crusher. 3 tons of muscle and horn, hide thick enough to stop most conventional weapons, a battering ram with legs and rage. Peter, can Khan really do this? Peter's response was slow in coming. I don't know, but I know Khan, he's never quit, never backed down. If there's a way to win, he'll find it. That's what tigers do. That's what Earth made them to be. Rachel watched Khan rest, gathering his strength for the impossible battle ahead, and she realized that this was no longer about proving Earth's worth to the Council. This was about showing the galaxy that when evolution never stops, when the pressure never lets up, when survival is earned every single day, you create something extraordinary. You create apex predators. You create Earth. Peter worked in silence, applying medical foam to Khan's shoulder wound. The synthetic tissue would hold for a few hours, long enough for what was coming. Around them, medical drones removed the battlehound's body, leaving dark stains on the arena floor that no amount of cleaning could fully erase. Khan remained still during the treatment, but his ears tracked every sound. His whiskers twitched at the new smells drifting from the preparation area where the Moric Crusher waited. Rachel watched from the control room, her stomach tight with worry. This wasn't like the previous fights. The Spine Stalker had been Khan's size. The Battlehound had been larger, but still within reasonable parameters. The Crusher was something else entirely. Dr. Anita Sharma's voice crackled over Rachel's earpiece. I've been analyzing the Crusher's biology. Rachel, this isn't sustainable. Khan is 520 pounds. The Crusher is 6,000 pounds. That's more than 11 times his mass. The largest prey tigers hunt on Earth is maybe 1,500 pounds, and that's rare. This is beyond their evolutionary parameters. I know the numbers, Anita. Rachel pulled up the Crusher's specifications again, hoping to find something, anything, that might give Khan an advantage. But I've also seen what Khan can do. He adapts. He learns. Learning doesn't change physics. If the Crusher hits him cleanly, it will kill him instantly. Rachel had no response to that. It was true. She knew it was true. But backing out now, after 2 victories, after proving Earth's worth, felt like surrender. And she'd told Drell that Earth didn't surrender. David entered the control room carrying 2 cups of terrible station coffee. He handed one to Rachel. The Council is debating whether to stop the fight. They're saying it's not fair, that we've already proven our point. What's the vote looking like? Split. Half want to see the fight continue. Half think we're sending Khan to his death for no reason. David sipped his coffee and grimaced. What do you want to do? Rachel looked down at Khan. Peter had finished the medical work and was now simply sitting beside the tiger, one hand resting on his flank. Man and beast, both products of Earth's relentless evolution, both shaped by a world that gave no quarter. I want to ask Khan if you can believe that. But since I can't, I have to make the choice for him. Rachel set down her coffee untouched. And I think we continue. Not because I want to see Khan fight, but because this is the last trial. After this, Earth's reputation is set. If we withdraw now, we're strong but cautious. If Khan fights and loses, we're brave but foolish. But if he fights and wins against an opponent that should be impossible, we're something else entirely. What's that? Dangerous. High Arbiter Len appeared in the control room doorway. The ancient being moved like water, silent and fluid. Dr. Foster, I have come to offer you a choice. The Council will accept a withdrawal. Your tiger has done enough. More than enough. Thank you, High Arbiter, but we'll continue. Even knowing the tiger will likely die. Rachel met those ancient golden eyes. Can I ask you something? Why do you care? You've overseen hundreds of arena trials. You've watched thousands of creatures fight and die. Why does Khan matter? Len was silent for a long moment. Because in all my years I have never seen a predator like your tiger. Most creatures fight from instinct, aggression, breeding, but your Khan, he hunts with purpose, with intelligence, with something that reminds me of sapience itself. To lose such a creature would be a waste. Then trust that Khan knows what he's doing. Trust that Earth made him capable of the impossible. Len studied her face, then nodded slowly. Very well. The trial will proceed, but I will watch closely. If the tiger is badly injured, I will stop the fight regardless of protocol. Some victories are not worth the price. The hour passed too quickly. Arena technicians adjusted the terrain, adding more rocks and uneven ground at Peter's request. If Khan was going to survive, he needed every possible advantage. The crusher was adapted to flat plains where it could charge in straight lines. Broken ground might slow it down. Might. In the viewing galleries, the crowd had doubled. Word had spread throughout Council Station. Earth's tiger against an impossible opponent. Some came to see Khan triumph again. Others came to see nature take its course and watch a brave predator fall. Commander Drell stood in his viewing box, his forearms crossed. Beside him, several other council members had gathered. The mood was tense. No more mockery, no more jokes about Earth being a nursery world. Now there was only anticipation and, in some cases, genuine concern. Peter knelt beside Khan one last time. Listen to me, boy. That thing out there is big. Bigger than anything you've ever faced. Bigger than anything on Earth, but you're smarter, faster. You've been hunting your whole life. You know how to read prey. You know how to find weakness. He pressed his forehead against Khan's, breathing slowly. I believe in you. Earth believes in you. Now you go show them why tigers are apex predators. Khan made a low sound in his chest. Not quite a growl, not quite a purr. Recognition. Understanding. Trust. The arena speakers activated. Final trial beginning in 60 seconds. Earth's champion versus the Moric Crusher. All medical teams stand by. The Crusher's containment door opened on the far side of the arena. The creature that emerged made the battle hound look small. 6,000 pounds of muscle covered in hide thick as armor plating. Its head was massive, crowned with 3 horns that curved forward like natural lances. Its legs were pillars, each footfall shaking the ground. Eyes small and red with constant aggression glared across the arena. The Crusher had been conditioned for combat since birth. Fed supplements to increase its size. Trained to charge at any movement. Its species had evolved on a high-gravity world where plants were toxic, and the only food came from killing. This wasn't just a herbivore, it was a weapon. Khan stood slowly, testing his injured shoulder. The wound held. He shook himself once, then lowered into a crouch. But this time, Rachel noticed something different. Khan didn't look afraid or even cautious. He looked focused, like he was working out a puzzle. The Crusher saw movement and charged immediately. 6,000 pounds accelerated across the arena floor like a freight train. The ground shook. Rocks jumped from the vibrations. The Crusher's roar was a physical thing, a wall of sound that made the viewing gallery windows vibrate. Khan didn't run away from the charge. He ran toward it. The galleries exploded with shouts of alarm. Even Peter jerked forward against the arena wall, one hand pressed to the reinforced glass. What are you doing? But Rachel saw it, saw the calculation in Khan's movement. He wasn't charging suicidally. He was timing. At the last possible second, when the Crusher was less than 10 feet away and committed to its trajectory, Khan dropped and rolled sideways. The Crusher's horns passed through the space where Khan had been, so close that one tip actually grazed his back, drawing blood. But Khan was already moving. He came out of the roll alongside the Crusher's flank, and his claws struck like knives, raking across the creature's side. The hide was thick, but Khan's claws found seams where the hide flexed at joints. Blood welled up, though not enough to slow the Crusher down. The Crusher tried to turn, but its momentum carried it forward another 20 feet before it could stop and wheel around. By that time, Khan had disappeared into the scattered rocks. The Crusher bellowed in rage and confusion. Where had the attacker gone? Its small eyes scanned the arena, but Khan's stripes blended with the rocks and shadows. The tiger had vanished. Rachel leaned forward. He's using ambush tactics. Against a Crusher. That's suicide, David breathed. One charge and he's dead. Or genius, Peter whispered. Look at Khan, he's not panicking. He's hunting. The Crusher charged toward where it had last seen Khan. It hit the rock cluster like a wrecking ball, scattering stones. But Khan wasn't there. The tiger had already moved, circling behind the crusher, staying in its blind spot. Another rake of claws across the hindquarters. Another shallow cut. The crusher spun faster than something that size should move, but again Khan was gone. This pattern repeated for 10 minutes. The crusher would charge, Khan would evade and strike, blood would flow. Small wounds. Dozens of them. None individually serious, but accumulating. The crusher's movements became slightly slower. It's breathing heavier. He's bleeding it out, Rachel realized. Like ancient humans hunting mammoths. He can't bring it down with one attack, so he's using multiple strikes, exhausting it. But the strategy carried its own danger. Khan was tiring too. His shoulder wound had reopened, blood matting his fur. His breathing came harder. Each dodge was a fraction of a second slower than the last. The crusher charged again, and this time it caught Khan with a glancing blow from its shoulder. The tiger went tumbling, crashed into a rock outcrop, and lay still for a heartbeat. The galleries gasped. Peter pressed both hands against the glass. "Get up, come on, boy, get up." Khan rose slowly. His left leg buckled once but held. Blood dripped from his mouth where he'd bitten his tongue. But his eyes remained clear, focused. The crusher charged for what it sensed would be the killing blow. And Khan did something no one expected. Instead of dodging, he leaped. Straight up and forward, using the rock behind him as a launching point. His injured body uncoiled with desperate strength, and he sailed over the crusher's head, claws extended. He landed on the crusher's back, between the shoulder blades where the horns couldn't reach. His claws dug in, anchoring through hide into muscle. The crusher bellowed and bucked like the world's most violent rodeo, trying to throw him off. Khan held on with everything he had. His back claws raked systematically, shredding hide, seeking vital areas. His jaws clamped down on the back of the crusher's neck, but the hide there was too thick for his teeth to penetrate deeply, so he didn't try to bite through. He just held on while his claws did the work. The crusher smashed against rocks, trying to crush Khan against hard surfaces. The tiger's ribs cracked. More blood flowed. But he didn't let go. Couldn't let go. This was his only chance. Minutes passed. The longest minutes of Rachel's life. The crusher's movements became more erratic, less coordinated. Blood loss was taking its toll. The creature was dying, but too stupid or too conditioned to stop fighting. Finally, the crusher's front legs buckled. It crashed to the ground, rolling partially. Khan released his grip and jumped clear, landing hard and immediately limping away. His whole body was a mass of injuries. Blood matted his beautiful stripes. But he was alive. The crusher tried to rise, failed, tried again. Its legs kicked weakly. Its breathing was labored, lungs filling with blood from internal injuries. Khan circled once, making sure the threat was neutralized. Then he approached carefully and delivered the mercy bite to the throat, ending it quickly. The crusher went still. For a moment, the entire arena was silent. No one moved. No one spoke. They simply stared at the impossible thing that had just happened. Then the galleries erupted. Not in mockery or laughter, in something close to awe. Aliens of every species stood making gestures of respect in their various traditions. Even those who had bet against Khan now acknowledged what they'd witnessed. High Arbiter Len's voice echoed across the arena. The final trial is complete. Earth's champion is victorious. Medical teams respond immediately. Peter was already running into the arena, medical kit in hand. Khan saw him coming and actually managed a low rumble of greeting before his legs gave out and he collapsed. "I've got you, boy. I've got you." Peter's hands worked quickly, assessing injuries, applying emergency treatment. "You did it. You magnificent, impossible, beautiful tiger. You did it." Rachel sagged against the control room window, tears streaming down her face. They'd won. Against every odd, against physics itself, Khan had won. David put a hand on her shoulder. "Look." In the viewing galleries, Commander Drell was descending toward the arena floor. Other council members followed. They formed a line along the observation window, all looking down at Khan, not with pity or superiority, with respect. Drell activated the public comm system. "People of the council, today we learned a lesson we should have known from the beginning. Earth is not a nursery world. Earth is a crucible, a forge that has been running for billions of years, creating life that knows only one rule: adapt or die. Today, a 500-pound predator defeated a creature 12 times its size, not through armor, not through venom or plasma or advanced genetics, through intelligence, strategy, and something we have lost in our comfortable civilized worlds: the absolute refusal to surrender. He looked directly at the control room where Rachel stood. Earth's champion has earned our respect, and Earth itself has earned a place in this council not as a junior member, but as an equal, because any world that can produce predators like this tiger has something to teach us all. The galleries erupted in affirmation. Different species, different gestures, but the same message: agreement. Khan, barely conscious, opened one eye as Peter worked on him. The tiger's gaze found Rachel in the control room, and for just a moment across that distance their eyes met. In that gaze, Rachel saw everything Earth had created: pride, strength, the absolute certainty of a creature that had never learned to quit because its world had never allowed it. "Thank you," Rachel whispered. "Thank you for showing them who we are." And in the arena below, Khan closed his eye and slept, surrounded by medical teams from across the galaxy, all working frantically to save the tiger who had changed everything. 3 months after the arena trials, Rachel stood in a very different place. The green hills of the Bengal Preserve rolled away in all directions, broken by patches of forest and grassland. The air smelled like earth and growing things. Real air, real sky, real earth. Khan walked beside her, his gait only slightly favored on the left side where his shoulder had healed. The alien medical technology had done wonders, repairing damage that would have crippled him permanently, but they'd chosen to bring him home anyway. This was where he belonged. Peter Walsh waited at the preserve entrance, leaning against an electric fence post. He smiled as Khan approached, and the tiger actually increased his pace, bumping his head against Peter's chest in greeting. "Good to see you too, buddy." Peter scratched behind Khan's ears. "How's he doing, Rachel?" "Physically, perfect. The council medical teams did excellent work." Rachel watched Khan sniff the air, processing the familiar sense of home. Mentally, "I think he's happy to be back. The station was too artificial, too controlled. Khan needs wild space. And you? How are you handling being Earth's most famous xenobiologist?" Rachel laughed. "It's surreal. Last week I gave a presentation to the Galactic Science Committee about Earth's evolutionary history. The auditorium was packed. Species I'd never heard of attended just to hear about our world. They're calling Earth a unique evolutionary laboratory now. Instead of mockery, we're getting research partnerships, trade agreements, respect, all because of one tiger." Peter shook his head in wonder. Khan changed everything. They walked together into the preserve, Khan ranging ahead but never straying far. He moved through the tall grass like a ghost, stripes blending perfectly with the environment. This was his element, his kingdom. It wasn't just Khan, Rachel said. It was what Khan represented. The council had grown comfortable. Their world stabilized millions of years ago. Predators and prey reached equilibrium and stopped pushing each other. Evolution slowed to a crawl. But Earth? Earth never stabilized. Climate shifts every 100,000 years. Mass extinctions. Volcanic events. Our evolution never stopped grinding, never stopped pushing. And that pressure created predators that the rest of the galaxy can't match. I heard Commander Drell visited Earth last month. He did. Wanted to see our world firsthand, understand what made Khan possible. Rachel smiled at the memory. I took him on a safari in Africa. Showed him lions, leopards, hyenas, wild dogs, crocodiles, all coexisting in the same territory, all competing, all pushing each other to be better hunters. He was shocked. What did he say? That Krathen has 3 large predators on the entire planet. Earth has hundreds, and that's just terrestrial. When I showed him footage of great white sharks and orcas, he actually looked frightened. He asked how humans ever survived on a world this dangerous. What did you tell him? That we survived the same way Khan did. We learned. We adapted. We became better predators than anything else Earth created. And then we became civilized without losing that edge. Rachel paused, watching Khan investigate a scent trail. Drell requested a military exchange program. Wants to train Krathen warriors using human tactics. Because we learned from predators like Khan. Exactly. Ambush doctrine, patience. Striking at weak points rather than charging head-on. Every human military tactic mirrors Earth's predators in some way. Drell recognized that. The whole council is recognizing it. They reached a clearing where preserve staff had set up a monitoring station. Screens showed Khan's vital signs, tracking data, behavioral analysis. Other screens displayed footage from across Earth. Polar bears hunting seals, eagles diving on prey, wolves coordinating pack hunts. Dr. Anita Sharma was reviewing the data when they arrived. Rachel, perfect timing. Look at this. She pulled up a graph. Khan's stress hormones have dropped 70% since returning to Earth. His activity patterns match his pre-trial behaviors. He's hunting naturally again. Killed a wild boar yesterday. Any signs of trauma from the arena fights? None. If anything, he seems more confident. Like he knows he can handle anything. Anita switched screens. And look at this. Requests for Earth wildlife studies have increased 5,000%. Every major council university wants to send xenobiology students here. We're having to create a lottery system for access. They want to understand us. Rachel studied the graphs. They want to know how Earth creates predators like Khan. It's bigger than that. Anita pulled up another file. The council military is completely restructuring their combat doctrine. They've been relying on size and armor for thousands of years. Now they're studying speed and precision. Khan demonstrated that efficiency beats brute force, and it's changing how the entire galaxy thinks about warfare. Peter whistled low. One tiger changed galactic military doctrine. That's got to be some kind of record. Khan also changed how they see humanity. David Cole's voice came from the monitoring station doorway. The ambassador looked tired but satisfied. Sorry to interrupt. I was in the area for the Earth Council meeting and wanted to check on our favorite celebrity. Rachel gestured him inside. How are things at the council station? Completely different than 3 months ago. Remember how we were the junior members? The newcomers who needed to learn their place? Now we're sitting on strategic planning committees, military advisory boards, scientific partnerships that would have taken decades to access are being offered freely. David accepted coffee from Anita, and all because Khan showed them what Earth can produce. What about the other species that participated in the trials? The Vreen? The Morik? Humbled but not hostile. The Vreen actually thanked us. Said the Spinestalker's defeat taught them not to rely so heavily on venom. They're redesigning their combat creatures with more emphasis on speed and tactics. David sipped his coffee. The Morik are more complicated. Losing the Crusher hurt their pride. But even they admit Khan fought with honor. Through the monitoring station windows, they watched Khan emerge from the grassland with a freshly killed deer. He dragged it to a shaded area and began to feed, casual and content. He doesn't know, does he? Peter said quietly. Doesn't know that he's famous across 60 star systems. That his image is on educational materials. That military academies study his fighting tactics. He's a tiger. Rachel smiled. He knows he's an apex predator. He knows he can hunt and kill. That's enough for him. The rest is human politics, but he changed everything. David set down his coffee. High Arbiter Len told me something interesting last week. They knew, before the trials. Len had studied Earth's evolutionary history. They knew our predators would be exceptional. The trials weren't about proving Earth's worth to them. They were about proving it to the rest of the council. Rachel turned to stare at him. Len knew? The council had grown arrogant, complacent. Len wanted to shake things up. Make them question their assumptions. And what better way than to let them mock Earth's animals? Then watch a tiger systematically dismantle their champions. David smiled. We were being used, Rachel. But for a good cause. The council needed to remember that size isn't everything. That engineering isn't everything. That sometimes natural evolution produces something no amount of genetic manipulation can match. I don't know whether to be angry or impressed. Be impressed. Len played a deep game and Earth benefited enormously. We went from junior members to equals in 3 months. All because an ancient alien wanted to teach the council humility and chose Khan as the teacher. They fell silent, watching Khan through the windows. The tiger had finished feeding and was now grooming himself, licking blood from his paws with methodical care. Every movement spoke of power held in check, of deadly capability wrapped in beauty. I've been contacted by other species, Rachel said. Not council members. Frontier worlds. They want to know if Earth has other predators like Khan. If we could provide breeding stock or genetic samples. What did you tell them? That Khan isn't for sale? None of Earth's predators are. We're not going to weaponize our wildlife for other species conflicts. Rachel's voice was firm. But I also told them they don't need Khan. They need to understand the principle. Constant evolutionary pressure creates excellence. If they want better predators, they need to stop engineering comfort into their worlds and let nature do the work. That won't make you popular with genetic engineers. I don't care. Khan proved that natural selection, given enough time and pressure, produces results that no laboratory can match. That's the lesson the galaxy needs to learn. A notification chimed on one of the monitoring screens. Anita checked it and laughed. You're going to love this. The Council just approved funding for an Earth Nature Preserve network. They want to protect Earth's biodiversity as a galactic treasure. We're getting grants to expand wildlife refuges and restore endangered species. Because they finally understand what Earth represents. Rachel felt warmth spread through her chest. We're not just another member world. We're a living library of evolutionary excellence. A reminder of what happens when life never stops fighting to survive. Peter stood and stretched. I should check the rest of the preserve. Make sure Khan's reintegration isn't disrupting the other residents. He paused at the door. Rachel, thank you for believing in Khan, for giving him the chance to show the galaxy what Earth can do. A lot of people thought you were crazy risking him like that. I was terrified every second. But Khan earned that respect. Earth earned it. We just had to stop being modest about what our world created. After Peter left, Rachel and David remained at the monitoring station, watching Khan through multiple camera angles. The tiger had moved to a rocky outcrop and was surveying his territory, the classic pose of an apex predator comfortable in its domain. What's next for you? David asked. You could name your assignment. The Council would approve anything. I'm staying on Earth, teaching at the new Xenobiology Institute. We're getting students from across the galaxy who want to study comparative evolution, and I'm writing a book about Khan and the arena trials, not the political parts, the biological ones. What makes Earth predators special? Why our evolutionary path created something unique? Sounds important? It is. Because in a few generations, the galaxy might forget why Khan's victories mattered. They might start thinking that genetic engineering can replicate what Earth does naturally. My book will be a reminder that shortcuts don't work. That real excellence takes time and pressure and countless generations of testing against the best that nature can produce. David stood to leave, then paused. One more thing. High Arbiter Len wants to commission a statue. Khan in mid-leap the moment he jumped onto the Crusher's back. They want to place it in the Council Hall main entrance. As a reminder of what? That the most dangerous thing isn't always the biggest. That intelligence and adaptability beat brute force. And that Earth, despite being a relatively small world with light gravity and comfortable conditions, produced life that the entire galaxy respects. David smiled. What should I tell them? Rachel looked at Khan, content and powerful and completely oblivious to his fame. Tell them yes, but with one condition. The inscription shouldn't be about Khan specifically. It should say something like, "Here stands a product of Earth's evolution. Let all who pass remember that when life is tested relentlessly, it produces excellence." Perfect. David headed for the door, then looked back. You did good, Rachel. Earth did good. Khan did good. And now the galaxy knows we're not a nursery world. We're something much more interesting. After he left, Rachel remained alone with her screens and data, but her eyes kept returning to the live feed of Khan. The tiger had settled down for an afternoon nap, stretched out on sun-warmed rock, tail twitching occasionally in dreams of hunts. Months ago, the galaxy had laughed at Earth's beasts, mocked them as weak and primitive. Now those same species studied Earth's predators with respect bordering on awe. They analyzed tiger hunting patterns, dissected the biomechanics of Khan's victories, built new combat doctrines based on what one tiger had demonstrated in an arena. And Earth's position in the Council had transformed overnight. No longer the naive newcomers. No longer the species that needed guidance and protection. Now they were partners. Equals. A species that had proven their world produced something special. Rachel's tablet chimed with an incoming message. She glanced at it and smiled. It was from a student on a council world she'd never heard of, asking about Earth's marine predators. The message was respectful, curious, genuinely interested in learning, so different from the mockery of 3 months ago. She typed a response, attaching files about great white sharks and orcas, about the complex hunting strategies of octopi and the ambush tactics of mantis shrimp. Every answer she gave spawned 10 new questions. The galaxy wanted to understand Earth, wanted to learn from the crucible that never stopped grinding. A sound made her look up. Khan had risen from his nap and was stretching, each muscle group flexing in sequence. Even in this simple movement, his power was evident. The economy of motion? the perfect balance. 4 million years of evolution compressed into 520 pounds of pure efficiency. He looked toward the monitoring station, and for a moment, Rachel could have sworn he met her eyes through the camera. A connection across distance. Predator and human, both children of the same violent, beautiful, relentless world. Then Khan turned and melted into the tall grass, disappearing as completely as if he'd never been there. Hunting again. Living the life he was made for. Unconcerned with fame or politics or the fact that his actions had changed how an entire galaxy viewed one small blue planet. Rachel shut down her tablet and stood, preparing to leave. But she paused at the doorway, taking one last look at the screens. One showed Khan's thermal signature moving through the grassland, stalking something. Another displayed requests for Earth wildlife studies, the list growing longer by the hour. A third showed the Council news feed, where analysts were still discussing the implications of the arena trials. All of it traced back to one decision. One moment when she'd refused to accept the galaxy's dismissal of Earth's predators. One tiger who had fought 3 battles and won them all against impossible odds. "Thank you, Khan," she whispered to the empty monitoring station, "for being exactly what Earth made you. For showing them we don't come from a nursery. We come from a forge." Outside, the sun was setting over the preserve, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. Somewhere in that grassland, Khan was hunting, doing what tigers had done for millions of years. Perfect, efficient, deadly. And across the galaxy, in council chambers and military academies and university lecture halls, species that had laughed at Earth 3 months ago were now learning a lesson that Khan had taught them with claw and fang, and absolute refusal to surrender. Never underestimate what evolution can create when the pressure never stops. Never assume that size matters more than intelligence. Never forget that the most dangerous predator isn't always the one with armor and venom and engineered aggression. Sometimes it's the one that learned to hunt in a world where every single day was a test of survival. Where comfort was a myth and adaptation was the only law. Where millions of years of relentless competition produced predators so efficient that even the species that evolved alongside them had to develop tools and fire and civilization just to survive. Earth wasn't a nursery world. Earth was a crucible, and Khan was living proof of what that crucible could forge. Rachel walked out of the monitoring station into the cooling evening air. Behind her, the screens continued their endless data collection, tracking Khan's movements, analyzing Earth's evolutionary patterns, processing requests from across the galaxy. But she didn't need screens anymore. She could feel the truth in the air around her, in the growing darkness where unseen predators began their nightly hunts, in the distant sound of something dying in the grassland, another link in the endless chain of predator and prey that had shaped this world. The aliens had laughed at Earth's beasts. They weren't laughing anymore, and they never would again. Somewhere in the preserve, Khan roared, not in challenge or anger, just a simple declaration of presence. The sound rolled across the grassland, primal and powerful, a voice that had echoed across Earth for 4 million years. Rachel smiled and headed home, leaving the tiger to his kingdom. Khan had done his part. He'd shown the galaxy what Earth could create. Now it was up to humanity to build on that foundation, to prove that the species that had survived alongside predators like Khan deserved the respect they'd earned. The stars came out overhead, billions of them, each one potentially hosting worlds where other species lived and evolved. The galaxy was vast beyond comprehension, but tonight on one small preserve on one small planet a tiger hunted in the darkness, and the galaxy was watching, learning, remembering, that when you came from Earth, you carried the legacy of a world that never let anything grow soft, that pushed and tested and ground down weakness until only the strongest, smartest, most adaptable survived. Khan was that legacy made flesh and blood and striped fur, and humanity was proud to call him kin. The end of one chapter, the beginning of Earth's true place among the stars. All because aliens laughed at Earth's beasts and humans released the tiger to teach them better.